We are live.
Say your line, say your line.
I will. You're funny.
Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm. That is right, Eric. You are number one. What is up, Eric? And then we got Dwight is number two. How's everybody doing? Or you guys? How you guys doing? You guys are good?
Yeah, me too.
You're good, Wes?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I love you too.
Who said that?
Eric. So how was your guys' week? What's up, Grandpa? Dilly. Oh, this is John. What's up, John?
Say your name is John.
My name is John.
You guys can be best friends.
There we go. Grandpa Rails.
I think the stop's going past us.
I don't know. So the Phillies are in a rain delay, and we're hearing thunder in the distance. So we're probably if the it works. So if this stream goes out, it's because we lost power.
Yeah.
Right? But I think we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Joe Raider in the Hizzy house. What is up, Joe Raider? Good to see you, bud. How you doing? You're going to have to ask her. Yeah. Yep. And Philadelphia, the Phillies are in a rain delay, and we're hearing it in the background, the storm. No rain or nothing yet, but we do hear the thunder, and it's getting real dark. For bedtime. Willow Creek Industrial Spur. How you doing? Good to see you, bud. All right, guys. Chatting it up in the chat. I got my camera. I don't know what happened the last time. The camera wasn't working. I had a lot of issues that last time. But here I am. What's up, everybody? What's going on? How's everybody doing out there today? How was everybody's week? Did everybody have a good week? What are you doing?
Look how strong I am.
Don't break that.
Okay.
Jeez. Wesley over here trying to break pencils.
I like it.
You like it? You like it?
Oopsies.
See?
Daddy, oopsie.
Yeah. Well, at least you could sharpen it.
Wait, it's still on? Oopsie.
All right. Can you guys see me? Can anybody see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Are you waiting for me to come on? It says I've been live for 5 minutes. There we go. That was weird.
What?
It wasn't working on my phone, but now it is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe what?
Maybe someone cooked something and it went off, but he found a way and then did.
You're probably right. That could have happened, huh? That could have happened.
Dada,
Yes.
the ferry's not going on.
I know they're in a rain delay
Oh,
for an hour.
for an hour.
For an hour. So I don't know. Maybe longer. Okay. Thank you, Johnny 2. Wait, can't see you, Dwight. Turn the fan on and blew all the dust all over the place. What's that mean? What's that, an inside joke? That's funny.
What's an inside joke?
All right, guys. So tonight we're going to hang out. We're going to chat in a little bit. I'll bring up the link. And if anybody wants to join me, you can. And I'll do, if you're down for it, I'll do a little interview with you with the questions that I gave Nathan the last time. If anybody's down for that, it doesn't matter. But also I got camera 2 right here working, and I'm going to be working on the what's this called again? This is the Grand Hotel. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be gluing in these square pieces here. Going to be gluing them in on the top here like that for the roof. I got this let's see, where is, here we go. I got some free styrene right here. Well, actually, no, this is cheaper than styrene, but this is what you use. This is good to use. I'm going to be using this for the roof. All right.
What?
Yeah. The roof for the Grand Hotel.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
You forgot about that. That's right. See how the chat is. I should have done the mail call live. Yeah, that would have been cool. But I still have to, man, I can't believe it was over an hour long. And then now I have to, cut. Sorry, I'm thinking here. I have to chop up the video that's in my phone.
Yes,
there she is, Mommy's home.
Yeah.
There. Can you hear me still? I don't know what happened. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Can you stop? Okay.
Here we go. Stretch Limo. You're not Stretch Limo. Where does Stretch Limo go? Bang!
Here he is. Stretch Limo.
Stretch Limo. What is up, buddy? How are you, Stretch? We can still hear you. Sweet. And how are you, Jefferson? Jeffsburg. Not Jefferson. Jeffsburg. Jeffsburg. How you doing? No, it's Friday. No homework.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No homework. No homework. Matthew. You're not Matthew. What is up, Matt? It's good to see you, Matt. Hello, Eddie. The last 2 nights, I witnessed 2 Elon Musk Skyline trains in the sky. Last night's was long. All right, Matt. You got to tell me what this is. Elon Musk Skylink trains. What are they? I never heard of them. I never heard of them. What are they? What are the Skyline trains? What are the Skyline trains? Now what are you doing?
Sitting next to you.
Do you want to get in here? Do you want to say hi?
Hi.
Say hi.
I said hi.
Say hi.
I did.
Hi.
Hi.
There he is. Wesley. Here, give me that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll put that questions over there. Boy, you gotta go higher when you do that. You trying to give me bunny ears?
Yeah.
Well, you gotta go higher.
Okay.
There you go. That's funny. Good stuff. Good stuff. Starlinks. That still doesn't explain. I'm still confused. Starlinks. I don't know what they are. Starlink trains? Is that what you were saying? Everybody's saying hi, Wes.
Hi.
Everybody's saying hi to you.
Hi.
Johnny Railer, what railroads are near you? What railroads are near me? All right. Winchester and Western.
Did someone say Wes?
No, Western.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for letting me know that.
Okay.
CSX. There's a lot of little ones like Shorelines. They're little. They're one. Shorelines is one. Trying to think what else is near me. Shorelines isn't really near me, but
What's that?
they're around. Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
Winchester and Western and CSX are the closest ones to me. And then I grew up near Amtrak, which now it's New Jersey Central, and that took you right into Atlantic City. New Jersey Central isn't near me, but it's in my state. I think CSX and Winchester and Western, I think they're the 2 closest. And it depends on the way the wind blows. You can hear the whistles of the Winchester and Western. If it's blowing towards us, then we can hear it. Yeah, the Phillies are an hour delayed for rain.
Yeah, there's more storms coming.
Yeah.
How many?
I don't know.
Oh, Mama.
And then somebody in the chat from Maryland said that they just got hit hard.
That's what's coming our way.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. So I told them if the power goes out, if the live goes out, it's the power. It's not StreamYard.
It might dissipate before it gets here.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that? There's something.
It needs to fade away.
What's that tomato?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Eric. Please hit that. Where is that up here? Hit the like button. Eric just told everybody to give the thumbs up. Thank you, Eric. I gotta get you blue, Eric. You need a wrench.
Let's go for them.
Yeah, you're 26 miles south of Pittsburgh. That's right. That's right. All right, I will. I will, Matt. Let's see. Chip off the old block. Yes, he is. You have NS, CXX, and Wheeling and Lake Erie Railroad. That's cool. Very cool. Very cool. All right, let me, I'm going to flip over here. Woo. So everybody had a good week. Did you guys, did anybody get to work on their layout or anything? Have you seen my series? Are you talking to me or somebody else? Because no, I have not seen that. You got Jeff Spur got to work on his layout. That's cool. No, I have not touched the layout in a few weeks. So, and you'll see it in the next video. It's a mess. I woke up this morning. What more can I ask for? Yeah, that's cool. Willow Creek worked a bit on his layout. Okay. A little bit of progress is progress. I didn't make any progress, mainly because I was waiting for my mail call box. Yeah, because he told me that he wanted to make me sidewalks. And he did. A lot of them, too. HONN scale. So now I got to see if I can incorporate them into the layout. Yeah, and I'll go from there, and then I can continue working on them. But the next goal for the layout is to get the template cut out, or the foam, I guess, for the road. Get that cut out, and then get the basswood that I have for the foundations for the buildings. Get that cut out and glued in place. And then from there, I can move forward. Yeah. I still got to do the wiring and other things. Brain fart. 12-6. 12-6. That's right. There it is. Come on, guys. 12-6. Hit the thumbs up. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast, never gets you anywhere rushing a project. Absolutely. You know what it gets you rushing a project? A headache and problems. Headache and problems. James is here. Hello, James. You're another one I got to get you a blue wrench. Who else? See, I like to do this because so you don't see my hat because on the top of my head. Here we go. This is cool. I'm trying to make my layout look like a branch line, but with grass on the tracks. Okay, that's cool. So like a low used short line or a branch line. That's pretty cool, man. And then I'm thinking here, like it's gonna be switching, right? A switching layout. Here we go. Me and Jeb have been working on our layout for the last few weeks. Gonna be a big surprise when it's unveiled. Oh no, here on YouTube next week. Oh man, what did you do? Did you tear it out and start over? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's cool, man. Crooked Dave is here. Awesome. All right, what am I building? So this right here is the Grand Hotel. And what I want to do tonight, there it is. What I want to do tonight is I want to glue these pieces. Wait a minute. Where are you? Hold on. I want to glue these square pieces of styrene on the top here for the roof that I got. I'm using for sale sign styrene for the roof. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to put, if I'm going to do tar paper or anything on top. I might just paint it black because it's going to be a background building. So you're not really going to see the top of it. So I'll probably just paint it black, then leave it. Oh, man. You okay over there, Curly? He's in a dust storm. That's no good. Yeah, Matt, I'm excited for this. Big surprise. You probably ripped half your layout out. Start over. Maybe. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. And they're way bigger than the pieces of styrene that the evergreen styrene. Here we go. I call my rail yard the Maple Creek Yard. Awesome. Like syrup. And the storage tracks at the top end of it is the Chester Spur. Cool, man. Grain and tank cars. Awesome. How big is it? How big is your layout? Are you doing a shelf layout? Oh, wow, Jeb. Just watch one of your videos and subscribed. That's awesome. Matt, I thought you were subscribed to him already. Grandpa Rails, Dilly Dilly. He's the man. That's awesome. There you go. That's right. Actually, his name's Matt. Jeb is his son. About 4x7. No, that's not you. This is you. Okay. Wow, that's pretty cool. So is it an island? You'll be able to walk all the way around it? Because if it's up against the wall, 4 foot is hard to reach in the back. That Dwight's a trickster. Whenever I call him, he answers, "Hello, Pizza Hut." That is funny. Pizza Hut, what is your order? Oh, okay, I'm gotta go take a nap. All right, Eric. Have a good one, bud. Awesome. I'm glad I'm glad that you do stop in here and hang out. Night, Eric. It's all good. So I got some plaster up. Does this stuff evaporate? Because I didn't use this much. It's hard to see it, but I don't know. Does this stuff evaporate? Or how do you say it? Evaporate. Is that how you say it? I don't know.
Mama,
What?
But I think that's what it does.
Right here. Right here.
Just, oh, yeah. You and the briskets. Awesome. Wigwag with the brisket sandwich. And then what cigar did you have afterwards? Or what cigar are you chiefing on right now? Here we go. Hold on. A mix of Ottawa Central and Ontario Southland. All right. So you're doing prototypical? You doing a prototype or a proto freelance? Or what? Dude, I would love to have you on Jeffsburg Junction. I would love to have you on the chat one Friday night, and we can talk. If you're down for it, that would be cool. No cigar tonight. Oh, doing a double tomorrow. That's right. Let's have one with morning coffee. All right. Hey, I bet you one with chocolate in it would probably be good with the coffee. Very cool. Very cool. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Stretch, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, okay. All right, there's my answer. Right. Okay. Exactly. The only time I have this open is when I use it. It's closed now. That's a bummer, man. But it seems like from the last time I used it till now, it's I don't know. Here he is. Bob. Why is there a limit on cigars? Who's got a limit on cigars? How are you, Bob? It's good to see you, Bob. Here. I thought so too. Thought I was subbed to Grandpa Rails. But yes, YouTube works sometimes. Yes, I do know how they work. 1 minute. Yep. For some reason, they like to delete your subs. I don't know. Very positive feelings right here. That's awesome. Forgetful. That's not positive. What am I talking about? Yep. Exactly. There we go, Matt. Just sub the Jebs. Yeah. Let me tell you about Matt. He's got 2 or 3 O-scale layouts. I think it's 2, right, Matt? He's got 2 O-scale layouts. He's got a shelf layout for a trolley, I think. I think it's a trolley. And he does some good work. Check out his lumber yard. Let me tell you, his lumber yard or sawmill, that is awesome. You guys go check out Jeb's Model Railroad or whatever the channel's called. What's it called? Hold on. I forget. Jeb's Railroad. This right here. Could somebody put his link in the chat? And then you guys can go check him out. If you haven't subbed him already, go sub him up and check out his layouts. He's O-scaler, which is cool. He's got shays. You need to start running some shays. I want to see a shay going. I love shays, man. They're cool. Shays are awesome. But anyway, all right. There it is. Thank you, Curly. The white, my friend. Yes. Yes, he does. All right. I don't know who Eddie is. Who's Eddie? Who's Eddie? Oh, they stretch. Well, I knew the rubber. You're not. Where are you? I knew the rubber cement did. And a trick for chipping for paint, you can use rubber cement. Did people know that? Did people know that old school trick?
Mama, I'm not scared.
No, I don't. Not for trains.
We'll be okay, bud.
But if I ever do get a Shay, it's going to be O scale. There we go. There we go. We're subbing up on the channel here. Good job. Awesome. What is it? Egg and sausage?
Egg and cheese on a bagel.
Oh, awesome.
Mama, I want that so I can swap
Eddie and the Cruisers. See, that's a movie? I never even heard of that. Limo is my nickname, being I'm 6'7", stretched out like a limo. Yeah, I did see the pictures of you with Pappy, and I was like, yo, that dude, does he play basketball? You probably never even played, and everybody probably asks you that. That's annoying. I would be annoyed if I was tall like that and didn't, even if I did play, and the first thing people say is, did you play basketball? Here's a John Train BFGR. What's happening, John? How are you? There's another John in here. All right. Let's play with this Plastruct stuff. I want to try to get these. I measured them out and I marked a line already right here, if you could see that. So I want to get these in. And then I got these other ones that are going to need to be cut. And then these ones I didn't mark yet. But I'm not worried about those ones yet, because these are the pieces that I need to work on getting these looking like this. So, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Should I use the weld or the other stuff? I don't know where the other stuff went, the other glue. Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. Where's he at? He needs to be in here. Look. I love Pappy. That is funny. All right. That's hilarious, man. He is one of them. One of the lollipop. He's from the Lollipop Guild. Oh man. There you go. There you go. Don't scrap it, JB it. Yeah, I've done that before. Oh, you're not even home this weekend, huh? That's pretty cool. 14-8. Come on, guys. Hit that like, please. All right. See what I can do here with this. Here, look, I'm just going to do this. Run this through here real quick. Dude, that's thunder. Do you hear that?
That was a truck.
Oh, Amazon's here. That is funny.
That's for our room.
Here I'm thinking it's thunder.
Like this dog.
Yeah, I'm down here.
There we go. Let me get this end. That's thunder. Oh, yeah. That's the thunder.
Holly.
All right, that's good. Nice and tight on there. Word. Is that your package? My birthday. Oh, here's the rain. Is it muggy out? Probably. My birthday is next weekend. Me, Jeb, and my wife are headed to Cumberland, Maryland to ride behind 1309. How cool is that? Yeah, I wouldn't be able to wait either. Thanks for the shout out, John. Who's John? Right now, with this remodel, we are back to one layout. All right. Okay. All right. Remodel the layout? Is that what's... Dude, I'm excited to see your video. Can't wait to see what's going on over there. It was just Amazon running over your mailbox and flower planter. Yes, dude. We have a stone wall that they always run. They destroyed. They destroyed that. It's like, it's all these young people that don't know how to drive. They don't know how to make wide turns. And then they hit it. And instead of backing off it, they just stop it and go over it. That and tearing up the grass. They'll tear up your grass too. They don't care. They'll turn right around in your grass.
One of your back web page, with your backbones will break off.
All right, so it goes on the top of the line.
You need to go to a massaging place.
Oh, okay.
And
I'll do it right there.
that sounds sick. Yeah.
Hopefully, or you just might be getting allergies.
I have for stuffy.
Yeah.
These are allergies.
That'll work. That'll work. I'm always afraid I'm going to cut myself on that blade. Do it like that. There. Hold on. Stay on that line. There we go. Perfect. Beautiful. 2 down. Yeah, this is bracing for the roof, not gutters. This is the bad. This is the inside. See? This is the Grand Hotel. This is the outside, and then this is the inside. And I don't know if I'm going to paint it black or not. I don't know if I'm going to light this up. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. I just want to get it built. I should probably paint the back first before I build it, though. Just in case if I decide to light it up. Put some curtains in here and everything. Just playing it by ear. Just playing it by ear. That's all. Thanks, Jeb. Matt. Jeb's his son. Matt is the father. He made Jeb's Railroad. He made the channel for his son. That's why it's Jeb's Railroad. But Matt's on here. It's Matt that we're talking to. Watch time. That's right. Sub or sub will get you booted. You don't want to be doing that. Yep, it's bracing. You thunk it right. That's awesome. That's awesome. Very cool. Yep. There you go. That could be the in the slumlord building. I could do that. No, it's square. Let's see. It does look round. Wow. But no, it's square. It does look round though. That's weird. That is really weird, but it's square. There you go. We zoomed in a little bit. So it's square. But yeah, it did look round, huh? Really? Volleyball? Dude, you could spike that ball like crazy. You'd be a good front man. Very cool. All right, let's see. So now it's been so long ago since I measured down this line. I forget what measurement it is. I think 3/8. 3/4. No, 1/4. Quarter? Almost a quarter. Almost a quarter. I think it was supposed to be a quarter and it moved on me. But, oh well. It's the same distance down, so that's good. The roof will be flat. Your roof shouldn't be flat because of the rain. But that'll work. Yeah, it's the same. All right, cool. Where's my pencil? Let's see if I can do this. All right, that one's good. Wait a minute. No, I can't do that. See, I'm not thinking. Or no, this one's the same height. Whoa. Hold on, guys. And then this goes in the front. See, it's been so long since I had this together. Right, this goes like this. This building is taller. So I gotta go off of this piece. How am I gonna do this? I gotta think this through. Guys.
Can I see?
I'm pretty sure I had it thought, but then I sat on this for a few months. Now I'm forgetting stuff. Maybe I'll glue these together. Like I got. Like that. See the lines? I use these right here to get my angle. Maybe I should just glue these together. I don't want to rush it though. I don't want to rush it. All right. John 2, happy birthday. Have a good night and a good weekend. Thanks for stopping in. Always a pleasure to see you in here. Chevy pickup stuck in the mud. All right. Dirt bikes, quads. Awesome. Yeah, man, they're fun. They are fun. All right, Matt. Yeah, man. Not a problem, Matt. Look for a rainbow. Okay. Well, it's dark now, so go make your phone call. Thanks for stopping in, bud. I'll check my text after the live. Okay, guys, you know what? I am going to it's almost an hour. Let me put that in there. If anybody wants to come in and join me, come on up and we can chat it up. It'd be really cool. All right, I think I'm caught up on. I probably missed comments. Oh man, there's been rain all bad weather everywhere. Hail over there in Texas. Hail's bad, man. You don't want to deal with hail. All right, James. Who you watching? $88 today. Wow. Is that the temperature? Fahrenheit? All right, dude. Take it easy. It was awesome hanging out with you. Next Friday, same time, next Friday, I will be starting the diorama build for the steamer kit right here. I do have it still. It turned out awesome. I do have to finish it though. It's not finished, but you've seen all that. I scratch built all that in there. I got to put the steps on here, the ladders, the railing on the back here for these steps. So next week will be the beginning of that build, the diorama, and then there it is. Turned out awesome. I'm gonna weather this, dumb it down, weather it up, weather it down, fade it, get this stuff looking. Fade it, get this stuff looking all rusty. So but somebody's joining me. Somebody's in here. Who we got? Is that my buddy Bob? Oh, what happened? Bob? Your screen's black. What happened? Did I lose him? I think I lost him. Here, should I remove him? Should I remove him and see if he'll come back up? I don't know. He's here, but he's not here. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he'll be able to get back in. There he is.
That was weird.
That was weird. I don't know what happened there. What's up, Bob?
Hey, man, what's going on?
How
I
are
don't like
you?
the way this camera. I've got to hold my tablet at a weird angle in order to center myself. Now I don't see Johnny.
No, I put you on full screen.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well, that was probably not a good choice considering my appearance.
No, you're beautiful, man. We could do
Just
that.
in a cheap hotel room in Harrisburg, but I figured I would pop on. I don't want to keep you on the stream longer than you want to stay on. It sounded like you might be ready to sign off, which is cool. You know,
No. People were leaving the chat, but I'm still here.
I've had a long
had a
day
long
driving
day.
over here and
So what convention?
hanging
are you
out,
at?
talking modeling. I went to a seminar on how to, like carve diorama bases out of foam, which is
Wait a minute.
a good
What did you-
skill to have
What
for
is it?
model railroading.
What is it?
Making the seminar was actually about making diorama bases,
Out
to
of
display
foam?
your tank models or whatever. But of course,
Right.
you're
Right.
carving walls and doing stuff that you would do on a model railroad. So there's tons of, using this green XPS foam that you can get at, hardware stores.
Yeah, the insulation foam, the extruded foam.
Yeah. So the guy was just going over the techniques he had for carving that stuff and preparing it to receive paint. How now, obviously, there's a lot less carving to be done making a base for a model tank than there is making a model railroad layout, right?
Yeah.
But
you're
at
right
least
about
the techniques, I think,
that. Are
work.
same. They're familiar.
Yeah. So there's a lot of crossover there, right? Modeling is modeling to a certain extent. So,
Right.
Right. That's partly why I go to these things. I mean, I am a static modeler as well,
Right.
but it's really the same skill set and the same fascination with recreating things in miniature,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're just, and there's plenty of fantasy stuff going on. I mean, the coolest thing I saw was a guy had recreated a comic book cover
Okay.
in
Oh,
3D,
wow.
and it was a military comic. I can't remember which one it was.
Mhm.
But it was really cool how he had done that. So a lot of art going shadow box building, lots of big dioramas, which
That's so
a
cool,
layout
man.
is a big diorama to a certain extent, right?
Absolutely, man.
It just happens to have a moving
Mine is.
principal actor on it that these
Right.
guys wouldn't know about, but they're doing a lot, they're lighting them.
Yeah.
They're creating, moving effects on their dioramas. It's very,
That's
very,
awesome.
very similar stuff. Yeah,
And
they
what is-
said there's going to be like 750 models on display.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, today they were there, but they were
Right.
judging them when I just left because it was
Okay.
like, they're not going to have
Boring.
these models out.
Right.
But it made me think, Johnny, when you go when you go to an NMRA show,
Right.
like I just went to this divisional show
Mm-hmm.
in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there were 20 models there.
Really?
There were 100 people.
That was you that
And
posted about no, somebody else posted about there was way more people in the NMRA back in the 90s than there is now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, even when you go to,
up. I can't remember what the numbers were, but low.
but even,
slow.
but have you ever been to an NMRA national show?
No. Nope.
I can tell you, there
There are
aren't
too many
750 models. There aren't 750 models
Right.
at the NMRA nationals.
Right.
There might
Yeah,
not even be 100.
That's bad.
I mean, it's really, and I get it, you know, I mean, when you're building a layout, you're doing a lot more than just building models. That's only a small part of what you have to do, right? Your
absolutely.
bench work and electronics and,
Yep.
you know, the list goes on and on and on. And that's
Track
what's so
work.
cool about model railroading and so challenging.
All the
Yeah.
different things come
Yeah.
together.
You gotta do,
Yep.
you got to do everything.
Yeah.
But it's still fun to go to a show where there are a lot of models.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
really
that's
cool.
man.
I mean, I went to the international. I'm an early member of the International Plastic Modelers Society,
Okay.
and
That's pretty good.
IPMS, and I went to the IPMS Nationals. It's either last year or year before, whenever it was in San Marcos, Texas.
Okay.
And there were, I want to say there were over 1,200 models on display.
No way.
That's a lot of models.
That's
You
awesome.
know, I mean, you cannot really
A lot of models.
appreciate that. Now, but I will say this, what I was thinking about as I was driving over to Harrisburg, keeping it on model railroading, was have you been to the any of the RPM shows, the
No.
Railroad Prototype Modeler shows? Like there's a
No.
big one in St. Louis every summer, and I've been to that several times.
Right.
There's a lot of models at that. There's more models at that than at an NMRA show. And I don't know why that is,
I don't
but
know.
there are a lot of models and a lot of good models at the
That's
RPM show. So I do recommend to you and anybody else who's still on the line.
Yeah, there's people in here still.
um,
To go check one out. I don't even
Just-
think there is any around here because I've never even heard of that.
well, there's one, as I said, in St. Louis, and I think that's the biggest one. There's one in Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Right.
There's one in Connecticut. I think it may be this weekend, actually, or it's very
yeah.
soon in Connecticut. They're around. They're around.
Right.
I'd be shocked if there wasn't one in out west. And you know, despite their name of being the Railroad Prototype Modelers Meet, it's not limited to prototype modelers. You know, it's not a bunch of rivet counters. It's a bunch of normal guys. Hey, Mystic, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, Mystic just came in. What's up, Mystic? Johnny.
Good night, Joe Rader.
Yep.
Joe
have
Rader,
a
you
good
would be
night.
right at home at the RPM meet, buddy. Joe Rader is an amazing modeler.
Yeah, dude, his layout. And I have never
Amazing.
seen his whole layout. I've only seen where like pieces, wherever he's working on it. That's it.
Right.
I
Trust me.
haven't seen it in full.
But even in the micro, like I have one of his cars.
Right.
He gave me one of his car, and it's
Yeah,
weathered
yeah.
to perfection.
Yeah.
He's just an artist. He's an
That's
artist.
awesome,
It's really awesome. So
Yeah.
yeah, sorry to be talking so much about shows, but I'm at a show.
Well, good,
So
brother.
I'm kind of thinking about shows and which ones are good, why they're different. You know, the NMRA National, I do recommend going to that too if you can swing it or if it's nearby or something like that, because they have a lot of really good clinics. Like
Clinics
this
are
show
good.
I'm at now is
Yeah.
AMPS. It's the Armor Modeling and Preservation Society. So it's all about
Mhm.
tank models, basically.
Right.
They have like over the course of 2 days, they have like 8 clinics or something like that. None of them, there's none running back to simultaneously. It's just one clinic at a time. It's
Yep.
pretty limited. It's
That's
pretty
awesome.
limited. And
Yeah.
even the divisional meet I went to in the NMRA was pretty limited. But the nationals,
Mm-hmm.
oh, baby. There's 4, 5, 6 seminars going on simultaneously. They're repeated 2 or 3
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of information. It's just the clinics
Yeah.
alone are worth going to nationals, in my view. And you've got all the
That's
tons of
cool.
layout visits, prototype tours.
Right. Right.
You
right.
know, I've done stuff like when the NMRA National was in Grapevine. That year I went to the IPMS in San Marcos. NMRA Nationals was in Grapevine, like
Mm-hmm.
10
Right.
miles away from my house. So it was a embarrassment of riches. But I got to go up in the Wisconsin, and JD and I went to Railfan at Saginaw, Texas, where they had these massive grain
Nice.
elevators.
Yeah.
And I actually got to go up in one of those elevators to the roof of that elevator. I mean, that
That's
was
That's cool.
once in a lifetime kind of experience to see how it
Yeah,
works,
man.
to understand
Mhm.
that helps you model and helps you understand the operation when you're modeling it.
Right.
But to go up there, I've been looking at that elevator for years. It's in the background of half of my photos. And
Yeah.
here I am on top of it,
That's
know?
awesome, dude.
So it really,
so
so do those prototype tours too, when you go to the NMRA Nationals it's just a wealth of information. And I've done a bunch of nationals and gone on a bunch of prototype tour. And of course, visiting people's layouts is,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
You mean
know,
like personal layouts or the ones that are
Yeah.
at the shows? Personal.
no, you go to their houses.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It's either or you get on a bus and the bus stops at 10 layouts, or you do a self-guided tour but you're going into people's homes and seeing their personal layouts. And
Yes. Yeah. Like
you know,
Eric's
I don't
training.
know how much you learn when you're on
does
those, but you get inspired.
You get inspired. Absolutely. You get inspired.
Oh my God. You
That's
just
right.
get, and you may learn 1 or 2 things. You know, I mean, the last layout tour I went on, I learned about bench work.
Yeah. Okay.
I learned I'm probably over engineering and overspending on my bench work, because this guy who was modeling O gauge
Yeah.
had 2x2 legs
That's all you need.
and a 1/2-inch plywood top. And he said he could climb on it and everything.
Yeah.
And here I am making these L girder legs and, spending a fortune on lumber.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a really good lesson. I've got to rethink what I'm doing before I make my next table. But,
Yeah.
but other than that, it was super inspirational. The guy had a huge blast furnace model that he'd made.
Wow. Yeah.
And so, and it had
I bet that
lights,
was cool.
animation
Yeah.
inside, it was really,
Sweet. Yeah.
it was amazing. I
That's-
mean, he needed my space to model O though. Or
yes.
S. I'm
Yep.
sorry. I think was he S or O? I can't, I think he was, 148th. Yeah, he was O.
Yeah.
But he had some
rails.
really
Was he
cool
3
stuff.
rails or 2 rails? 3 rails or
2 rail. 2
rail
rail.
O?
2 rail O. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. 2 rail O. Yeah.
Yep.
He had a huge bridge that had been made for him by, I think that CMR. Are those the guys in Baltimore? CMR. I think that's their custom model railroad. CMR. They had made a bridge for him, and it was like it was like 5 or 6 feet long. I mean, it was massive.
Did they make it out of masonite?
I don't know what the deck was made of. I didn't quiz him too hard on it,
Right.
because he had made it himself. But
Does
he
he
could
have-
make a blast furnace, so he could have made a bridge. It was like, what is up with this? Don't you like
Does
to
he
make
have a channel?
structures? Oh,
Does he have a YouTube channel?
no,
No.
no.
He should.
He was one of the officers in the NMRA, the local
Mhm.
NMRA. So I think they're having their monthly meeting this Sunday.
Mhm.
And of course, I'm hosting Sidetrack Sunday this Sunday. So The
Right.
question will be, how prepared am I for Sidetrack Sunday?
Yeah, because
You know,
you're away
I'm
all
not-
weekend.
Yeah, I'm not going to run off and do that meeting if I'm not going to be ready for the live stream. So that's,
Right.
and right now, I'm not ready.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, dude. I get that way too with Friday Night Live. And I'm like, oh man, I'm tomorrow. What am I gonna do? So it's all right.
Yeah, well,
We
I
still
could do what you're doing if I got a good overhead camera set up like you have. That's a really great shot.
You like that?
Um,
Dude, it's a cell phone. It's a cell phone with a table tripod.
are you on
Yeah.
StreamYard?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I know you don't like StreamYard.
I don't know.
Hey, I was a
I
little.
should use
Dude, let me
StreamYard
tell you,
because
man. Last time we were on chat, I got upset. I was pissed, dude. I'm like, what the heck, man? And then Dwight's like, oh, you only got 20 hours. I'm like, what happened? And then it cut me off. And then I went into StreamYard and my camera wasn't working. I'm like, what the heck?
oh, geez.
I went into
Wow.
StreamYards. I started reading, and you get every month you get 20 hours free. It re-ups every month. And then
I see.
it said
Damn.
if you're live, well, it's okay. I could do 3-hour streams and still be good. But it said
That's a
if you're
bummer.
live and you run out of your hours, it won't kick you off. And I'm like, well, what happened to me last time?
Yeah, really.
Because I got kicked off. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
But
But
you-
now my camera's back working. So StreamYard.
But StreamYard's got a lot of functionality that the other free platforms don't have. So
there is
I
a
don't
lot
think-
that I don't know what to do on here. But
If you go
other people
straight
do
to-
know.
if you go straight to YouTube, I don't think you can do what we're doing right now.
No.
With two
Oh,
people have a guest. I don't
No,
think you can do that with just YouTube. You can't do it with Prism Live.
you can't do it. In Prism? What do you use? You use
Prism.
Prism? Yeah.
Yeah,
And you can't
Prism.
have guests on.
I don't think so. I've never tried it, but I don't think it's possible.
Mm.
So, I just I don't see a duck. I don't see a duck here.
You don't see
Where's
a
the duck?
I don't know, man.
The StreamYard branding is my main beef.
And it's
don't
not
like
on here. I
The
don't have
darn
it.
duck, and there's no duck.
I don't have a
Is
duck. in the
James on?
corner.
James at Dundas Junction, where's the duck? You're the duck expert.
I don't know, man. This is the
So-
free version. What did they take the duck off the free version? I guess.
Boy, I'd be hard pressed not to move over to StreamYard if they remove the duck.
That would be nice, right? They might have. I don't know because I didn't pay for this. I didn't pay for it. It's a one-time fee, which is cool, but still, it's almost $400.
Yeah, it's not.
So,
It's not
yeah.
cheap. It's not cheap. Yeah.
and then I use
Yeah.
Canva, and I use the free version of Canva because I'm not paying. That's a yearly fee of almost $400, and I'm like, no.
I thought it was like $12.95 a month for Canva.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know
I'm
what
only
it is a month, but I know
think
it's
I'm-
almost 400 a year.
Well, 400 a year is a lot more than $12.95 a month.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm tempted to do the Canva though, because there's certain things I either have to go with Adobe,
Right.
which is very expensive,
Yep.
or I can do with Canva, like, having motion graphics that move across the screen and,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you know,
which I think
recording a
that's
little
all-
video, that
think-
has
yeah.
like graphics.
Right. I
You
think
can't
that's
do
all
that in the
paid
free version.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
all. in
you
the
can't
paid
do that
version.
in the free version. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
There's
don't know. I got to look at it again. It's been a while since I looked at it. I just got
Yeah,
the free version of it.
I just looked at getting the pro version and it was $12.95 a month. And I hesitated.
Okay.
I haven't done it yet because I don't want to spend that kind of money either.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's because I have graphics programs and stuff that I bought over the years that I'm perfectly happy with, but they don't do motion.
Right.
So
Right. I had,
And I don't know how much. I don't know how much as a YouTube creator, how important is that stuff? You know, how important is,
for a, for a
having
model railroad YouTube creator,
that-
how important is that?
good point. Good point. Yeah. Because I'm also into photography. And
Right.
so I watch a lot of photography channels,
Right.
and those guys have a lot more bells and whistles, but that's because it's a photography channel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they have a lot of bells and whistles.
Right.
Graphic and music, and their images are incredibly perfect when they record themselves. The lighting is just right. Everything is perfect, but they know their audience is
Into all that.
pretty
They
is a
want to see it.
discerning consumers of that stuff. So
Yeah.
so I get on that slippery slope, and I like doing that,
Right.
and I would enjoy creating something like that, but I'm not sure it would really add to my channel.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I don't know. It's just I should. My real problem, Johnny, is that my
What's up?
space eats up so
Get outta
much
here.
of my
You got a
time.
building, dude.
And it's a wreck. And so
yeah, well, you're working in it. Of course, it's a wreck.
yeah, but I mean, it just wasn't done right. So I had all that mold on the one wall in my workshop area, so I had to tear out all the drywall. So when I did that, I got to look at the outside of the building, underneath the vinyl siding, and there's no house wrap.
Oh,
It's insulated, and it's a concrete wall. It's a cinder block wall. So the reality is there doesn't have to be anything outside the cinder block. Really, you could paint the cinder block, right?
Right.
But they put up wood strips. They put up lats so they could nail vinyl siding to it, and they insulated between that with foam insulation, probably XPS.
Right.
And so now I'm like, shoot, as soon as I tear this siding down, if a building inspector sees it, they're probably going to say, hey, you got to wrap it. You got to put building paper on it. Mm-hmm. So now, it's like, now I got another project I got to do. In addition to cutting the hole bigger to put the window in, I'm going to have to tear all the siding off, wrap it, and then put something else up. I probably won't put vinyl siding up. I'll put something else up, maybe Texture 111 or or something like that. But if I do that, then I'm going to have to change the way the lath strips are that they put up there, because they have horizontal planks and vertical laths. So I'm going to have to put up new strips and then re-insulate around that, recycle the old insulation. It's
Do you really need a window? Do you really need a window?
Well, there was a hole in the wall because there was an old fan in there.
So
that ventilated, and originally I thought that the fan had been put in by the guy who converted the room into a cooler back in 2008.
Right.
But honestly, when I look at it now, it looks like it was original, and it was not done right, and all of the wood around the fan was completely rotted. So I'm going to have to tear all that out.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to have to put another window in there. So it's probably okay. I'll cut the block. Already bought the window. So, and it'll be good. It'll let more light into my workshop.
Right.
More air into my workshop.
Right.
So I need that. So it's a couple of $100 of materials, but it's hours and hours of work to, to do that whole. Well, I'll have to do that entire wall, basically on the outside. I'll have to put building paper on it. I'll have to put new siding on it. It'll be and so while I'm at it, I'll probably tear out the soffits and the fascia and redo all that with instead of being the vinyl. And sheet metal that it is, I'll probably put up,
Mm.
hardy plank or something.
So,
So
but
yeah.
that's after the layout's built. You'll deal with
Yeah,
all
right.
that after the layout's built.
Yeah, right. Somebody told me, someone somewhere, they didn't tell me, but their advice was do your workshop first. And I failed on that. I have not done my workshop first. I have been working on the layout. I've been
Right.
working on other parts. I've done my
Right.
wife's grow room.
Yeah,
And I have the grow lights for her grow room. That's really close to being in usable shape. I just need to do a little electrical work and get another outlet in the ceiling for her grow lights. And then I can hang her grow lights, and she'll be able to move her plants into the grow room from the main area where the layout's going to be. There's plants and 1,000 other things in there.
right.
Once I have the workshop done, then I can move my spray booth, workbenches, tools, all that stuff can go into the workshop. And suddenly that big open area in the shop is going to be a big open area instead of
More layout.
being a mess. Right now
Yeah.
it's just a mess. So it's,
Right.
I just got a lot of balls in the air at one time in that space. So it's, plus I'm trying to, earn a living and do a few other minor things.
Right.
So it's nonstop.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
it always
nonstop.
will be. It always will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's cool. I mean, look,
All
this I-class problem, and I don't want to go on and on about my stuff because I know how lucky I am. This is
You are.
not everybody can do this. I worked my ass off practicing law to have the kind of funds to make this happen, but I'm still stretched, right? It's not like I can just write a check for 50 grand and have all the projects done that need to be done in that place,
Right. So you're a lawyer?
I am, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And
So
I
what do you
would
think
not
of Sean
recommend
Combs?
doing it. I'm one of the lawyers who says don't go into the practice of law because it's a very negative profession. It has a very high suicide rate, alcoholism rate.
Really?
And why is this? Because you're constantly
bull
dealing
crap
with
you're dealing
negativity.
with. Yeah.
You're fighting,
Absolutely.
and if you're not fighting, you're trying to figure out how to keep from getting into a fight. I mean, it's really very negative. You're not really building wealth or creating anything. It's very negative. Now, some people enjoy fighting.
Right. Arguing
That's
and
fine.
all that. Yeah.
If that's what you want to do, then that's great. I mean, I had a fellow lawyer come up to me at a cocktail party, and someone had told him about me, and he came up to me and said, "Hey, I hear you're a card carrying a-hole too." Well, a lot of lawyers are not nice people,
Right.
because they're fighters. They just enjoy that kind of battle and winning.
So you enjoy.
And to
all
me,
that.
life is not about winning or losing, right? To me, I enjoy creating. I think that's the most valuable, most important thing that we can do, And on that line, I mentioned on one of my live streams, I mentioned a website called Bokeh Bushido. Bokeh Bushido. And Bokeh, bokeh. That's the Japanese word. That's the Japanese word for blur. And then Bushido is the Japanese warrior's code, right? But he just did a show. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to watch it. And the title is Creativity Equals Longevity. Honestly, I think that there's a lot of things that we do as model railroaders that I think lead to quality of life and longevity. And one of those is creating. We're constantly creating, building our layout, building models, solving problems, using our mind, programming Arduinos, whatever it is that you do on your layout, it makes you think, and the other thing that we have is this
Right.
social
Yep.
interaction with other modelers, going to their layouts, being on live streams together. This
Mhm.
social stuff also, I think, is very important. Community connections,
Yeah.
very important
Yeah.
to longevity and to happiness. And so I'm dying to
Absolutely,
see
man.
his video about creativity and
Now this is
longevity.
right. This is the same dude that built that railroad bridge where that guy was driving the mini truck over. Remember
I don't
you
remember.
in one of your live streams on Sunday night, you were talking about two different guys. One modeler guy who I thought it was this guy. He built the runner, the circle, the roundabout where that
Oh, Steve Wallace, the guy. Yeah, and right, and Boyley. Yeah, no, this is
this is a different
this is the other
channel.
guy. This is a
Okay.
guy who he's a photographer
Mm-hmm.
based on the fact that he used the word bokeh.
Mm-hmm.
That's a photography word for blurry background.
Mm-hmm.
So he's
Okay.
a photographer, and he holds up a camera in some of his videos. I've never heard him talk about photography 1 minute.
Oh, really?
He doesn't talk about photography itself. He talks about the creative process, and his audience is all kinds of artists, and I
Right.
put us in the category of artists.
Yeah.
All
Absolutely.
kinds of artists, and the creative process, and how you should overcome obstacles to creation, how you should deal with people who, throw shade at your work.
Right.
So
Right.
to me, he really speaks to me, and I think he should speak to all railroad model railroaders, because we're artists.
Yeah.
Of course,
Absolutely,
Lance,
dude.
and I always called him Lance Mindheim, but apparently his name is Mindheim.
Minheim. Lance Minheim.
Lance Mindheim did a book,
Right.
Model Railroading as Art.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you seen that book?
Nah.
Boy, I tell you, it
It's
really is. He's obviously an artist, and a professionally trained artist, but he really talks about that, the connections between art and model railroading, and how to use color theory and all sorts of
Absolutely,
stuff
dude.
that went way over my head. But
Right. Look
but
at
it
a
really-
weathered building. You know what
it
I mean?
was a good-
diorama. That's art. You look
Right,
at someone's
absolutely.
diorama. That's art.
absolutely, yeah.
You know?
So I recommend that book. If you or anybody in the chat has an opportunity to pick up Lance's book about model railroading as art, it's kind of a mind shifting kind of a thing. It just kind of makes you think differently about your layout for a little bit.
Right.
And he makes it very model railroading specific. He's talking about
Right.
how to create scenery, and
Yeah.
how the techniques of landscape painting apply when
True.
you're creating a scene on your model railroad.
Same with painting your backgrounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of that, I was in Erie at the beginning of the week. I took my wife on a little
Okay.
vacation for
Nice.
I'm finally through the worst time of the year for me, because we have our anniversary on April 26th. She was born on May 4th. And then Mother's Day is always the week after. So I've got like 3 major holidays, and I either run out of money, ideas, or both.
Right.
So one
Right.
of the things that we did was we
Combine it
went up
all
to
into
Erie,
one.
and I didn't realize this. She discovered this, but Frank Lloyd Wright, his office that he used to practice in San Francisco, was
Right.
taken apart and reassembled in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So you can go to the Erie Historical Society Museum and walk through Frank Lloyd Wright's office.
Oh, wow.
And he had a big commercial space, kind of like me, and this is where I'm going, But I think
Mhm.
this applies to a lot of layouts. A lot of people have layouts. But within that space, he built a lot of structures that
Yeah.
reflect a lot of his concepts. And one of the things that and if you've ever been to Falling Water, the house that he built in Pennsylvania,
No.
and a lot of his other structures, he has this idea that he calls compression and release.
Okay.
And so what he does is before you go into a room, he creates a little hallway that is narrow, short, and you get this compress and you feel compressed. And then when you step into the room, boom.
You're talking about Willy
opens up.
Wonka's Chocolate Factory.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
And so how many railroads do you go down the basement steps and boom, you come into the layout? And my suggestion to people who have that scenario is to amplify it.
Right.
Lower the ceiling there a little bit. Put a board across there that says, welcome to the trains, but lower it below the ceiling so people are compressed. Put a curtain across there, something, so that when they have to come through and then boom.
And they're mind blown.
And then you have this, not only are you coming out of this compressed space, but you're confronted with this beautiful layout. And then make sure that you have a scene that's a mind blower.
Like Boomer says, your signature scene. That should be your first scene that people walk into.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's, so I was reminded of that when I went into Frank Lloyd Wright's office.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool. That's worth going to see. They have pictures instead of the windows and you're being able to look out at Erie. They have pictures of San Francisco, the exact view that you had looking out of his office.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a very good view, but
right.
It's a wall and a rooftop.
They're trying to make
stuff.
it feel real. Yeah.
So it's
cool.
very well done, and
cool.
But I really thought that was that's good advice for everybody who has a layout. Is think about.
I never thought of that. I think that's awesome, man. Have it all
Think about-
compressed. Got the sign.
And a lot of
that you have to
people,
duck
it's
or in a curtain or something.
Yeah, or it's in a room. Even if it's in a bedroom, wherever it is, you can have that doorway. Think of that doorway and what that experience is like when people open that door, and boom, they're confronted with your layout. That makes or breaks the experience. If they just see something boring or something unfinished,
right.
It's really important that first thing they see be impressive and be done.
That's it, man.
So those are lessons that I'm going to take to heart.
Yeah.
Because right now, when people step into our space, it's just a big cavernous space they step into. So I can create a little vestibule area.
Absolutely.
And Frank Lloyd Wright did all this with plywood sheets.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it was redwood plywood.
Right.
But it was still plywood. It wasn't painted. It might have been stained, or it might just have been really old redwood. I don't know.
Right.
But there was no elaborate finishing of the surfaces at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was just it was like making a view block inside the Grand Hotel.
Right.
He was just trying to make a wall and stop people from being able to look that way.
Yeah.
And make them look this way.
Yeah.
And so, you know, anybody
cool.
can do that. Anybody can do that. So I don't know if you saw my comment about your Grand Hotel, that I do think that you need to light a few of those.
Yeah.
You know, there's just so many.
Yeah.
And it only has to be a couple of rooms, right? Two or three windows next to each other, blocked off, and then lit in there. If you did that 2 or 3 times, that would be enough.
I was going to make, for the rooms that are lit up, I was going to make little boxes.
Right.
Boxes over top of the windows. And then that will be lit in there.
Yeah. And the others can be dark.
The
others can be
dark. I'll do
blinds pulled down.
Yeah. A trick is you can use the the window glazing, and then
Uh-huh.
you just take paint and you just paint over where you want the curtain, or a blind. Say a blind is pulled down, you just paint half of it, and then over
Oh,
top
I
the
always
blind.
just glued, took typing paper, cut it to
You can do
different
that,
lengths,
too.
and glued that on the back.
It's faster just to paint it.
But yeah, absolutely. And you can't do
Yeah.
curtains that way with cut it. You can do blinds,
Right.
but you can't do curtains. And
No,
I've
not
seen
curtains.
decals for that and stuff.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's all expensive, elaborate, and difficult. That's a good point. Just painting it on is
That's a Jason Jensen trick. That's what he does.
okay.
He paint you know his channel, right? He's
I
an
do.
awesome modeler, dude. He is an awesome
Oh.
modeler.
He's
And
amazing.
Yeah, that's one him. Yeah, that's one of his tricks that he does. with the
Cool.
paint.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's
And
like a pull down blind, and it's either closed all the way or halfway.
Very Franklin and South Manchestery,
Yeah,
his layout, right?
exactly. Yep. And,
All
he
right,
loves-
Mystic. That's Mystic's comment. It's pretty funny.
to walk through my big.
If they can survive the live electrical wires laying on the ground, they're going to be happy to see the layout.
That's it.
But Jason Jensen is another one of these crossover guys that does a lot of other art and a lot of other modeling. And he's
you're right about
there's a father-son team here in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Brett and Todd Wiley,
Mm-hmm.
Wiley, and they just started live stream. They just had their first live stream a couple of weeks ago. It was a complete disaster, but
Oh no.
they've been doing audio podcasting.
Okay.
But the father said, "Hey, I bought this fantasy figure called Lady Death, and it was this big scale hot chick kind of a thing, right?"
Right.
And he had no idea that Lady Death is actually a character created by Jason Jensen, someone they've had on their show many times, because they are model railroaders. They have a layout, a father-son layout that they're building, the Wileys, and it is Franklin and South Manchestery. It's got a seaside area and a lot of craftsman kit building they do. So they're definitely somebody, but again, the father is into tanks, planes, sci-fi.
Right.
He'll make anything, and so that's why the Jason Jensen connection came in. And he was shocked to find out that this figure he just bought was actually a figure, a character from a comic book.
Yeah.
That Jason Jensen had created. So his day job at one time was comics.
I did hear a rumor that he used to draw for Marvel. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't know whether it was Marvel or not, but it definitely was comics.
Yeah, he drew.
And,
he was a comic book drawer. Yeah.
I'm a comic guy. I did do a video about my comic project. I have a big poster in my space. One of the first projects I did when I got into the space was I blew up a Sergeant Rock comic book cover, but I modified the lettering on it. It's got Rock with his finger like this, beckoning you towards him.
Okay.
Saying, "Come on, we've got a war to win."
Yeah.
And so I changed it to say, "Come on, we've got models to build."
There you go.
And then I blew up this thing and have it on the wall.
Yeah.
So I love I love comic books. That's but I guess they're a thing of the past, right?
I don't know. I think they're coming back.
I know there's graphic novels and stuff like that, but
right.
I guess military comics like I liked are, Enemy Ace and
Over
all that stuff. But that's cool. It's all different. There's always something new and something better. It's just I don't want to have good old days syndrome. You know, anime, people are still interested in animated stories.
Yeah.
Both
never
of my
got into it.
sons and their wife / girlfriend,
Are
they
all into
they
anime.
each are, you know, they're all interested in those things. So it's probably even more of a cultural phenomenon than the comic book was, because the comic books were a lot for guys, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah. Not many girls were into it.
Right. So
I
it's
love
cool.
going into comic book stores, man. It just you walk in and it's got that smell and it's kind of dingy looking. Oh man, I like that. Yeah. And then you're going through the comic.
When I was working in San Francisco, I
Right.
shared a house. I shared a house with an engineer at the company I was working at, and both of us had wives who were staying back home. And we
Right.
were living in San Francisco working these jobs. And he said,
Yeah.
Bob, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to take the entire 2-car garage for my comic collection.
And you said, okay.
I said, oh, yeah, it's all right. I don't care.
Yeah.
But the guy had so many comic books.
Yeah.
It literally filled the he could have opened his own comic store. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's right, Mystic. Old paper does have a unique smell that
Yeah. Yes,
yeah,
it
you
does. I loved it, man. I loved
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of I don't know. I'm really a Sergeant Rock junkie. If there's any comic book that I like, you know.
That's
Were
cool.
there any comic books about trains and about railroading? I can't
haven't-
believe there weren't.
I didn't find any. I never found any.
I don't know who else
No.
is in the chat. Maybe somebody in the chat can
Mystic.
enlighten us there, because there's such a huge part of American history. It'd be shocking to me that there weren't comic books about trains.
There's gotta be.
And if there were, that would be something cool to have influence your modeling, right?
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. So what are you doing with the rest of the weekend, Johnny? We should probably wrap this up. You've been on almost 2 hours. That's more than enough time for any human to be on these live streams. They are taxing. I find them taxing, you know.
Taxing.
Yeah,
I
they're
find it fun. I had a question. I'm going to need to get you on here, and me and you are going to have a chat about your layout, and you know what I mean? Like I did last week or last time with Nathan.
Sure.
No, because I want to know more about Dead Rail and stuff like that, what you're doing.
Yeah, I need to it was a lot easier to come on your live stream than it was to sit here and start working on my track plan.
Oh no.
Which is what I really need to do. I started using AnyRail to design my track plan. And I've really just been working on the first table. That's okay.
Is it easy to learn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy just to lay down some track and figure out how to put in a turnout. It's pretty easy. And there's libraries of track. So all I had to do was go, I'm going to use Fast Track's turnouts.
Yeah.
Just click on Fast Track number 10 and drop it in.
Yeah.
It's and it doesn't let you do stuff that you can't do, that violates whatever the parameters are that you set. If you set a minimum radius or something like that, it'll highlight all that stuff and not let you do it. And of course, that's what I was running up against. Even with my huge space, I was still running up against cramming too much track into the space available. So
Less
it's
is
good.
more, Bob. Less is more. Remember that.
Yeah, I know, but I just wanted to make a freaking 3-track yard.
And they want to let
for intermodal. That's all I wanted to do. And
not enough
10
space.
feet isn't enough. At least with the long turnouts I was planning on using. If I use number 10s.
Because you're number 10. There,
that track ladder.
Like this, man.
Yeah, the last ladder in the last rung in a 3-yard ladder is like 3 feet long. Well, that's not going to hold very many auto racks, which is what the yard is going to be serving. So I have to,
Why don't
I
you
either
cut
have to
down
make,
to like 7s or 8s?
yeah, I just didn't want to buy another jig.
Oh, you bought the jig? Why would you do
I have a
that?
number 10 and a number 12 jig
Dude.
and the point sharpening tools and
Yeah,
everything
you're
necessary to do those. So you're spending like $150, $200
Yeah.
to get the tools.
That's why I'm building my own. I'm making my
Not
own
even with a jig.
man.
Not even with a jig. Well,
ain't
we'll see who
spending-
wins that race, my friend. But
oh,
it's not a race.
No,
that's
I'm not racing.
That it's not a race, and building a layout is not a race. And I refuse to
No, man. I'm on my
let-
own pace.
let that be true. But
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, no, I would be glad to do that. Talk about the theory of
I would love to get more in depth with your
the
layout.
PK and W, what the
Yeah.
concept is behind the PK and W, what industries
That
I
was
want to
your wife's
have on the
initials,
layout.
man. PK
Not
and
this
W,
time.
your wife's initials.
Not this time.
Priscilla K. White. Priscilla K. White. Yeah, I know. I know all about her.
You have to go on my website and see the story of the PK and W. But I think from a YouTube creator standpoint and from an entertainment standpoint,
Mhm.
I think it's important to not only have a story for your railroad, but to share that story and to have that be part of your videos, and maybe even create characters
Yep.
who, the superintendent of the railroad is
That's right.
so-and-so, and he's
funny
this
that
kind of a
you're saying
person.
that. That's funny.
You know?
I've already been thinking. I started thinking about
Yeah.
that years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it
that's
brings the railroad to life.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And it makes it exciting for you and for people who are watching your video. And the primary example of that is that Boily Hobby Time guy,
Right.
right? The guy who's got like 750,000 subscribers
Right.
because he's telling a story about the wild imaginary West.
Right.
And it's this crazy story about monsters and, but it's very consistent and he makes it a part of his videos frequently, not all the time. He just did a video about creating a diorama of a Star Wars dogfight where I got to see how he did the electronics, but he actually had pulses of light traveling out of the weaponry.
Oh, what?
In between, so they're chasing each other and there's these light streams. I've got to see how he did that.
Dude,
Because you could have applications
Right. Yep.
on your railroad, so I just have to see how he did that. But that guy tells a story, and I do think that's important for our enjoyment of the hobby.
Yeah.
And also people who view videos when you make a video. You don't have to make a video to enjoy model railroading, and I'm not. But a lot of the people who are in the chat here and who do live streams obviously have channels, and that's a part of their enjoyment of the hobby as well. So it's just one other aspect. I've got to work on that because I've got as I said earlier in the chat, I've got the subs. I don't have the watch time.
Yeah.
And
How
I've
many
got a
subs
lot
are
of
you
how
at?
to.
How many subs you got now?
1450, something like that.
14,000?
No, 1400.
1,400.
But that's enough.
That's good.
They always say, "Hey, don't worry. If you get the watch time, you'll have the subscribers, or vice versa." Well, that's not been the case with me. I've well over 1,000 subs, and I don't have anywhere near the watch time. But of course, I haven't been producing the videos on a regular basis. You've got to crank.
Well, I know.
You got to crank, and I
know
just
all about that, man.
I have successful videos, but they're how-to videos.
Which is good.
Yeah, but you can't. It's hard. You can't do a how-to video every week.
Mm-mm.
I don't have enough ideas.
Right.
Good ideas. You know,
My issue that I deal with is after my week is up, then my videos go dead. They go flatline. I can't get. I don't know. I can't get new subscribers to check out my stuff. I don't know what to do there.
so I'm not following you. When you say when your week is over, what do you mean?
Like after I'll post a video up, and
Uh-huh.
then it'll be up for a week, and then that video will flatline.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you know, I got to tell you, the how-to videos that I've done
Mm-hmm.
have got legs.
Yeah.
They've
Right.
got legs, and
Right.
they're
run.
seasonal. They're seasonal.
Yeah.
You know, they like I have how to spray paint in the cold. Well, not
Right.
surprisingly, right about now, that's not really doing very well.
But
But
in the fall it will. In the winter,
in the
it
fall, the winter, I've
will.
had
It will.
I
Yeah.
had a guy from Russia
Right.
sending me messages because he was trying to do paint in the cold. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
years after I posted it.
Right.
So it definitely, those things have legs,
Yeah.
and they keep generating. And I have a feeling, even though everybody has, not everybody, but a lot of people have done a video, let's say, on bench work
Mm-hmm.
and how to do bench work.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do a video on how to do bench work,
No,
on how
better
you do it,
You better
your
do it.
technique, and
Absolutely.
that'll have
Absolutely.
legs.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll have legs.
Yeah.
But you need to, and I know this live stream and your channel is not about how to succeed on YouTube. And since I'm not monetized, I shouldn't be giving anybody advice.
No, it's good. You give advice.
But,
give advice.
You know, I think titles are important.
Yeah, titles.
Because if someone is looking
thumbnail.
for how to do bench work, as an example,
Yep.
you need to title your video "How to Do Model Railroad Bench Work." It may seem
That's right.
like you
Redundant.
got a big ego, right? It may seem like hubris that you're telling people how to do something, but that's what they're going to search for. They're going to search for, hey, how do I build model railroad bench work?
Yeah.
And so you need to have a title that pulls them in. I mean, the first words out of your mouth when you start the video can end the hubris when you say, this is how I do it. I'm not telling you this is the only way to do it, but this is how I do it,
This
and
is
it's
my
worked for me.
version of it. Mm-hmm.
And then you do it. But then people will watch that because
Yeah.
for the rest of your life, people are going to be building model railroad layouts.
Yeah.
And they're going to want that information, and you have to do a very good job. Your bench work has to be
Absolutely,
good.
dude.
Your instructions have to be good. Look at
Mhm.
Ron Marsh. Look at
That
Ron
dude,
Marsh.
I watched that guy blow up. Blow up.
Yeah.
And DIY and digital. He was another one.
Right.
That he came in and I'm like, DIY and digital railroad. What? And
I
then all
know.
of a sudden, boom, and now look at him. Yeah.
But-
like I watched those guys blow up. And
But
you know
they
what?
both-
You know what both of those channels are doing? They're
What?
solving problems for you.
That's
They're
right.
they're solving problems. They're showing you how to do things.
And they do it well.
And they do it well.
Their
Yep.
videos
Yep.
are recorded very, very well lit,
Yep.
clear, clean,
Yeah.
scripted.
Yep.
They put a ton of work into those videos. But those videos, you know, Ron is retired now.
He was a pastor, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
retired from preaching, and
He's,
he's partially living on the income from his channel.
Right.
And he deserves it because he's worked really hard to
Really,
produce those
for
videos.
For years. Yeah. And then now
And the
he's
modeling-
doing videos for Model Railroad Academy.
Is he?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. He's
So-
doing some videos for them now. So
You
he's
know,
doing
so-
his own channel and then their channel.
It
I don't
can be
think he-
done.
I don't think he gets a kickback from it, but He's
It
still
can be
trying.
done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had, I was
That's
talking to
awesome.
my wife about this too. She has a channel she's trying to grow. It's very young.
Right.
But there's a guy, Brian G. Johnson, no relation.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I
to
know all
me.
about that guy. Yep.
Yeah, but his latest thing, at first I was upset about it because he said, if there's a video in your niche and it's doing well,
Copy it.
you need to copy their title, word for word.
He's not the only one that says it.
And,
says
you know,
that,
because, and at first I thought, that's stealing somebody's idea.
Right. Right.
That's not cool. You need to be an original creator.
right.
And we have to remember, of course, that Brian G, and you and I are talking about this too. We're not talking about being artists. We're talking about having a successful channel.
Right.
And his point is, I think that, hey, just because you copy their title and the main idea, you're going to put your own twist on it. You can't help but put your own twist on it. And
Right.
so you're not going to be, hey, Steve 87th, what's up, brother?
Yo, Steve, what up?
And so there's nothing wrong with that. So that's why I say there's nothing wrong with
Copy.
putting out a video is how to build model railroad benchwork.
That's right. That's right.
It's good.
And-
Even if you are building it with L girder construction, a time-honored technique that somebody else came up with decades ago, doesn't matter. You're going to do something a little different, and you're going to present it differently to a different audience.
Yep.
So don't be afraid to do that and copy what's working.
Another thing Brian talks about is to make multiple YouTube videos of the same thing, but like the same topics, but not like back to back, like months apart. Because it's always, you'll always learn more and you'll always update that video.
Right.
You know, like the bench work or weathering or something like that. You always advance and grow.
Sure.
So, all right, I'll put out another weathering video and I'll show my new techniques now.
Right. Right.
You know?
Maybe you recap your old technique and then you say, but I started doing this, using this material. And boy, I got to tell you, that's one thing at this convention that I'm at, the weathering materials, right? AK Interactive. Those guys are here in Spain. They're the biggest vendor at this convention, AK Interactive.
Yeah, because they prioritize with the tanks and all that.
Exactly. Yeah, but again, they're building a diorama just like we are. We just happen to be building a much bigger one.
Right.
But
right.
But so you do a video that shows you just tried the latest thing from AK and you do another video on weathering. Yeah, don't give up on that topic. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, boy, Johnny, this has been a great conversation, but we've gone over your 2-hour mark. We have
I don't have a deadline.
We have strayed on topic all over the place. And
that's okay. That's all right.
I don't know that the folks in chat are following along or finding this interesting, or is anybody even still there? Jesper Junction, I do not remember you. So I would love to hear, if you're still there, I'd love to hear something about your model railroad aspirations. What are you doing? What's your current project? Something to let me know. You know, what scale are you operating in, working in? Are you an operations guy?
He's got a 4x7 layout. He's doing a branch line. He's doing a branch line that only runs like he's modeling it with grass in between the tracks and everything. It's like a branch line that runs like once a month or whatever. Like, I guess not really once a month.
Okay.
But he's gonna make it kind of look like that.
That's cool.
I mean? Yeah,
we need to have limited objectives. Dwight, are you telling me I talk too much?
Oh, Curly. But
welcome to the Bob Show, he says. Yeah, that's probably what he's saying.
That's okay.
Dwight, are you doing all right, buddy? I know it's gotten warmer. You had some health issues in the winter that were scary, buddy. I hope everything is good with you.
Yeah.
And that your 3D printers are working properly. It seems like there's constantly some issues there. You're buying new parts and everything. So I hope everything is good with you, Dwight. We
Yeah.
appreciate you out here in the community, man.
Dude, Dwight is the man.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got some good stuff.
He does, and he has limited resources, so he's a good lesson to all of us that you don't need a 2,000 square foot building to be a good model railroader.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Be on the lookout for my video next week with my mail call. You'll see all the stuff he made me.
That was a teaser. That was a teaser to beat all teasers there. I think that video, Johnny.
Dude, I'm like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shoot this video. I don't want to edit. I just want to shoot it and put it up for Thursday. I had Wednesday. I had one day to record it. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And I do it, and it becomes, oh man, almost an hour and 15 minutes. And I was like, well, now I have to edit. Now what am I gonna do? And I was like, well, I'll shoot a quick teaser video, and then I'll post that up. So I did that. So, but yeah, now because it's on my phone, 45 minutes, an hour. So now I got to chop that up to get it onto my computer. So it's going to be a lot of work, but it'll be fun.
Video production is hard. Live streaming is hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not.
It's time.
None of it comes easily.
It's time consuming.
All right, Steve. Yeah, 2,000 is not enough, Steve. No, you know what, Steve? I'm here to tell you, 2,000 is probably too much. It's too much for me. I can't. You got to take care of the property. You want to insure 10,000 square feet. I have to pay to insure 2,000, and that's hurting me.
Yeah.
So it's a constant. It's a constant thing, even if it's a business expense. We have multiple businesses we run out of the structure. So, all that stuff, they are all business expenses, but that just saves you a third. Basically, you're still coming out of pocket paying for insurance, water, power.
Yeah.
Every month it's.
You have your own law firm?
My wife has her own firm.
Okay.
And she is she's making good money in her practice right now.
Right.
And I don't think it'll ever stop.
That's good.
Because
so you work for her?
I don't work for her, no. And in fact, all of her clients are people that I brought to her.
Gotcha.
But she takes them, runs with them. I'm not doing anything with those people anymore.
Okay.
They're old companies. They're companies I used to work for. They started using her when I was working at the company for not even necessarily legal things.
Right.
And yeah, you're right, Steve. The grow room. The neighbors all assumed that when I said we were making a grow room, that's what we were growing.
I thought of hemp right away. That's the first thing I thought of was hemp.
My wife has only smoked marijuana once, and that was in Colorado where it was legal. Right. And she hated it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so she would never grow that because she has no interest in that at all.
Well, at least Steve asked, because I was going to ask, and then I was like, nah, I don't want to get into that.
Yeah. No. She has a YouTube channel called In the Garden with Rose, and it's about gardening and how to take care of cut flowers and the stuff that she's interested in. So
you cut your stems on an angle.
That's right. That's part of it. And putting like clear soda in the water so it has a source of sugar, right?
Really?
Put in like 7-Up or Sprite or something in there.
You know what else works? Aspirin. Put a couple aspirins in there.
So they say, pennies. There's all these other.
Right.
Yeah, she does all kinds of. I'm not. I don't have a great interest in that.
It's not.
I
green.
challenged Boxcar Jerry to do growing tomatoes this year, and I haven't even planted. He's way ahead of me.
Yeah, he's
So,
got that. He's got a cool little garden.
Yeah, his family runs a farm. He's
Do
got
they?
an advantage over me when it comes to his family's got their own farm, so
See, I didn't know.
he knows growing.
Yeah.
But of course, the real guy who grows stuff in the model railroad community is Mark Stewart, Stu Structures.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yep.
That guy,
he talks.
he
about
grows
that,
a lot of stuff.
his farms. Yeah.
I'm gonna forget.
Sorry, I just got
All right,
wild
Mystic.
here.
Mystic's going to take care of you on the TCP front. Isn't that what it is?
What?
The active ingredient of marijuana? I don't know.
Oh,
Mystic is going to help get you
THC.
THC. Not see.
Yeah.
That's how it shows you how much I know about it.
It's not PCP, man. It's not Angel Justin.
Those days are long behind me, thank God.
Long behind. That's right. That's right.
I just love life, man. I
That's
love.
it, man. Yeah.
I don't drink.
No.
I'll have a beer every now and then to be social, but
Yeah.
I got a 6-pack of beer can sit in my refrigerator for 6 months easily.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't.
Yeah.
I enjoy
That's
life.
good.
You know,
That's good, man.
I enjoy. You know, I don't really. I want to be
nothing wrong with that.
clear. I want to be thinking clearly. I want to be able to be effective and do stuff for myself, for my family, for my employer, whatever it is.
Right.
But I had my days, you know, in college. I certainly
Oh yeah.
had my days of excess.
Everybody.
But
Everybody did. Yep.
yeah. So remind me again, Johnny, where you are in the world? Where do you live?
South
Ohio?
Jersey.
South
Yep.
Jersey.
I grew up like 10, 15 minutes away from Atlantic City.
Okay. My family is from Spring Lake
Okay.
and Belmar. My
Yep.
aunt was from Belmar. My uncle grew up in
Yep.
Spring Lake. Now,
Yep.
I don't want you
Belmar.
to get the wrong impression because Spring Lake is a very wealthy town.
Mm-hmm.
My family delivered the milk. They had a little dairy in Belmar before grocery stores became a thing, and they delivered milk. That's what they did.
That's cool. I work
So
up
they-
in that area.
They were not wealthy people, but they did all right because
Right.
they bought 2 or 3 vacant lots in Spring Lake.
Yeah. Yeah. We're
And
we're doing a work.
eventually,
We're doing work at this house right now that we call P. Diddy's house. This house is huge.
That
It's
doesn't sound good.
huge. Nah. It's just the dude's a surgeon, so he built this huge $1 million home. And
Wow.
he's just letting it fall apart. Like he's got his own pool house, but the pool is destroyed. Like he's a hoarder.
Oh, man.
So he's just hoarding everything.
oh man,
Yeah. It's like
in Spring Lake.
no, this is in Voorhees. Voorhees,
Okay.
New Jersey. That's another
Still
money
South
place.
Jersey.
Yeah.
And I see
that's
Steve's
another-
from Middletown.
Yeah, yep.
So
yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
I
so
have
I
a
work up in that area. There, like Voorhees, Belmar, Cherry Hill, all those areas.
Gotcha.
Up there.
gotcha.
The money.
Yeah, my uncle.
Haddonfield.
Yeah, my uncle used to go down to Cape May County to teach
Yep.
like trade school about how to do dairy processing and that sort of thing. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, we were all over that area. My mother graduated from Asbury Park High School.
Oh
yeah.
wow. Okay.
We're definitely my cousins still live in the properties in Spring Lake.
Yeah.
Some of the ones that haven't been sold.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we still have I used to spend every summer down there.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Yeah.
beach, beautiful lakes,
Mhm.
beautiful little town. In fact, I have a video bringing this back to modeling.
There we
one of
full
my
circle.
one of my brothers said, let's make models of the street sign at the corner where my uncle's property is. You know, in Spring Lake, they have these concrete pillars
Dude,
that
a
are like
lot of those
pyramidal.
neighborhoods have that. All
Right. A lot of
around
those
there.
towns have that. So we
Yep.
actually made little, you know, like 10-inch high models of the concrete pillar. And on one side it says 4th Avenue, and on the other
Right.
side it says Worthington.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
that's the corner where his
Yep.
house was.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And so, you know, yeah, so that modeling, you know, it's really that was really important. And then my brother, one of my brothers and I actually did a side-by-side build over the internet where we would get together periodically and look at our progress. But we did
Mhm.
plank on bulkhead models of the lifeguard boats in
That's
Spring
cool.
Lake.
Yeah.
They have a kit of those,
Oh wow.
of that. It's the Seabright Dory, it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the dory that's used up and down the East Coast, but definitely in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And so we made that, and then I made decals for it to decorate it in. We went to the Spring Lake Historical Society and got photos of what the
Right.
boats looked like, and then made those models.
Scratch built.
You know, those are special. No, there's a kit.
Okay.
The Midwest Models makes a kit of the Seabright Dory, so we could do that.
Oh wow. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if it's coming back or not, Asbury Park. Yeah, it had its heyday, and it wasn't
Stone
bad
Pony's
when.
still open though.
Yeah, there you go. I was just going to say, Bruce Springsteen always sang
Yeah.
about the kids huddled on the beach in the mist.
He's
With
got
the,
a lot. Yeah, like, he's got a lot. I think he's got a park with his big statue of his guitar in the middle of it and everything.
should.
Yeah.
I'm sure he brought a lot of money, and
Oh,
yeah, sprung from cages on Highway 9.
Mm-hmm.
That's the highway that runs parallel to the beach. You know, not right on the beach, but yep.
Route 9. Good old Route 9. Yep.
And that's a Seabright Dory, Dory, not Doris. Although that's a funny character.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she wasn't very bright.
No, she wasn't. Just keep swimming.
So,
All right, Bob.
yeah. All
Yeah,
right, man.
man.
I've kept you on too long, but I
We
always
had,
enjoy talking with you, Johnny. That's why I jump on
Absolutely, man.
when you give me the opportunity. You got to watch out.
No,
So
dude,
if you
come on up.
don't want me to jump on, you just have to tell me, Bob, not you this time. Let somebody else.
No, you
Somebody
can
else
up,
come on.
Somebody else
because
can come.
I'm
with the free version, I can have me and then 5 other people. So
right. And I do think
Or-
that's unique in streaming software. I think that's unique to
mhm,
and it's very important functionality.
for model railroading for us
For any
our
live
community,
streaming.
for all communities. But yeah,
Any
it
live
is.
streaming, it just really it's huge to have more than one person on at a time. You know, it
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah,
Takes the pressure off one person and just more fun. We're
Yeah,
social animals, right? So
that's it.
all
man.
right, man. Well, what are you doing? What are you doing with your weekend? What's this? You doing any modeling?
Probably because it's raining all weekend, so I'm gonna be here. I'm
Okay.
gonna be inside. So yeah, I'll get back. I'll be working on the hotel and getting just stuff ready. Yeah.
Are you doing a video of that build? You should be.
Yes and no. I started one.
You could probably-
I did a video on building the steamer.
Cool.
And
That's a great project.
I still haven't edited it.
Well, you could probably get some footage off these live streams, right? To the extent
Yeah.
you did work. Yeah, no, that came out great.
Dude, I love it, man. It turned out awesome. And then
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
you can't even tell where I broke it. Can tell
Only
where I
you.
broke it?
Only
I
you
where
know.
I broke it. Yeah. But
Only
now,
you
man,
know.
It turned out awesome. And then the
I had that-
diagram is
I-
going to be It's going to be.
I had that thought earlier today when all these judges were judging these models, and I could see these teams of people gathered around some guy's model
right
with bright lights on it.
right.
And I thought, they're not going to find. He knows where the mistakes are,
Mhm.
but they aren't going to find them. They can
That's
use
right.
their bright light all they want.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
So,
Like,
well,
look
all
at,
right, man. I hope you enjoy that.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, I had a blast. You had a blast. I had a blast.
Yeah, yeah. It
Hopefully
was
Chad
fun.
had
I
a
hope
blast.
folks in chat had a blast too.
Yeah.
And we will see you all. And I'll see you
Yep.
all on Sunday night on Sidetrack Sunday. Please join me, and I'll find something interesting to do. I may build something. I have never done an online build. I've never been brave enough to do that. So I need to get my overhead camera a little bit better than it was the last time, and then I could actually do a build. Lord knows I've got enough kits. I could do.
Dude, if you get
You know,
StreamYards, me and you could. I would jump on and we could build.
all
something
right,
together.
all right. Yeah, I don't know.
He's like,
James
no, I don't
would
want that
applaud.
duck on my screen.
James at Dundas Junction would applaud if I caved in and started using the duck, but it won't be Sunday. I've learned enough about streaming software to know you've got to practice. You can't just, I'm not going to go cold on the StreamYard for Sidetrack Sunday. I need to use the technology I'm familiar with and make sure it works. Hell, I just got my audio fixed.
Yeah.
So I've got to do that, but I may have to, because you're right. This is fun, and it's just one more aspect of live streaming I need to take advantage of. So
Do you have another
good luck.
channel? Do you have another channel that nobody knows about where you
I
can get
do.
on and just play around with it? Because that's what I do.
Well, I do, but it's not one. It's one that's actually going to be a serious channel.
Oh yeah.
And yeah,
What's
I
that?
have something called Scale Model Works, and it's going to be for my non-railroad hobby. For all my military model builds, my boats, this other wacky stuff that keeps getting onto PK&W, and it's not railroad related.
Right.
So I need to move that off. And those things do very well. Like when I did a video of the IPMS National Convention.
Mm-hmm. On this channel or
on PK&W Model Works.
And it did good.
Oh yeah, it had over 1,000 views, and I typically get 200. Right. So there's a big audience out there for that stuff, and so I need to move those videos over there. I'm going to keep doing those things, but I need to have PK&W Model Works be true to, and I'll change it back. I'll probably change PK&W Model Works back to its original name, which was PK&W Model Railroad. And then it'll be clear what it's about. Right now I've mixed things together, the railroad and model works.
Yeah.
And it's not really.
You're going to be building structures and stuff. That's model.
Yes, absolutely. Donnie, we could go on all night, brother. We need to let you go. And or I could anyway. And so Dwight is telling me I better shut my trap. So I'm going to shut my trap.
Dwight. Dwight. There's nothing wrong with it, Dwight. But no,
just pulling his leg.
We got to swap emails. I don't think I have your email, right?
Mine is on my channel on my about page.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna email you.
Listen, here it is. I don't mind giving it to you.
No, I'm not gonna give it to nobody. No.
Or to anybody in chat.
Oh, okay.
Here's my email address. You can write it down.
Well, I'm not gonna write it down, but you don't have to. Right. You don't have to do that.
Well, everybody in chat I trust, and they can go on my webpage and get it. bob@rrjbgroup.com. I have no problems with you. That's my personal email address. And that is our, we do have a website.
Yeah.
Our JB group. And I've got some stuff about the model railroad out there, and it's public. I have a lot of things to be ashamed of, but
But model railroading is not one of them.
My address, I'm an open book. I don't,
Well, be
not an
careful with
issue.
that.
So I
Okay.
hope it doesn't rain all weekend, but I still hope he gets some modeling done.
Yeah,
And
I'm
everybody in
definitely going to
chat,
do that.
thanks. And I will see you on Sunday night.
Yeah, I'll try to
Thanks
make
for
it.
having me on, Johnny. Thanks for
Yeah, no
hosting me.
problem,
I
Bob.
appreciate it.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Bob. See you, Bob. All right, guys, that was awesome. So next Friday Night Live, 7 p.m., I'm going to start working on the diorama for the steamer kit build. I got all the parts. I'm pretty sure I got everything. I got the rails. I got the cork. I got the wood to make the sleepers, the turnouts. I just got to figure out how I'm going to get them cut. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yep. So next Friday will be the part 1 of that. And if anybody wants to jump up on here and join me, you are more than welcome. All right. Thursday night at 8:00, mail call video from my boy Dwight Curley. You're not going to want to miss that. All right, because that's going to be awesome. He hooked me up, and it's going to be cool. All right. So with all that being said, thank you guys for coming and hanging out. And for all my people that watch it on the replay, thank you guys, my Saturday morning and weekend crew. You guys are awesome. And the guys in the chat are awesome. Everybody's awesome. All right. So just have a blessed weekend. Have a blessed week. And I'll see you on the next one. Keep it railing.